Friends, family, and loved ones, I want to welcome all of you today to celebrate one of life's greatest moments.
Do you want to
This season on Vanderpump Rules.
Turn the music on and let's party. Someone's gonna end up in jail.
I'm so sorry, I'll never do that to you again.
Welcome to Montage. New Orleans, baby.
What the dude?
I have watched as you have overcome trials.
Why did you say it?
Because it happened!
It didn't happen.
Why don't I sit here and tell your mother what I've done for you since you've been here? Sitting on the couch for a year while I take care of you. I don't think things are going well for us anymore.
Respect each other and each other's opinions.
You are turning into an asshole before my very eyes.
I don't appreciate that.
Laugh together. Cry together.
I would never forgive myself.
For some reason, it's not working.
I don't want to see you like this, man. You deserve better, dude.
For the commitment of marriage means no less.
She is a married man.
I'm not dating a married human being. Well, you would know. You've been throwing rocks. What, because I call you like a whore? Call it as I see it.
Speak to each other with words of appreciation.
You don't give a about anyone but yourself.
A lot of people feel that you're fake a lot of times.
So why the are you friends with me if I'm fake? Well, this. God.
You must stand resolute in your love for each other.
I'm just scared to commit to someone.
If you put a ring on my finger, so stop throwing my face.
Strive for harmony.
You don't ever listen.
When you go to the dark side, it's scary as hell.
Find the funny in life.
Cool talk. Talk about how your dick doesn't work either.
My dick works great.
Love freely given has no beginning and has no end.
I'm done with Katie. I'm not marrying her.
Tom, do you take Katie to be your wife, holding only unto her forevermore?
Wow, this is so fun. Wow, this is such a big deal. I'm so excited to be here.
This is a really big deal. Bigger than, you know, a huge Bravo television show that you're on all the time. Definitely, right? Right, guys? Is anybody I'm sure I know the answer to this because you're here, but can we just give a round of applause for how phenomenal Vanderpump Rules is as a show and how happy we are that Stassi is back on it?
That is so nice. I'm thankful that my most embarrassing moments can provide some entertainment.
Yeah, not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets to have that. So it's been on. Now we're in season 5. You've come back, which we're all really excited about. What do you think has changed, or what do you think has changed the most about the show, and what do you think has kind of stayed the same since the beginning?
Well, I've actually said that this has been my favorite season thus far because I feel like the crew is back together again. I think we've all gone through so many awful things with each other, and we've all put in the work to become friends again. It didn't happen overnight.
Right.
And I really admire that all of us cared about each other enough to try and do that. As far as what's changed, I don't know, nothing.
Well, I think, a little bit, you've gotten to a point where you can have Jax on your podcast and interview him. Did everybody listen to that podcast?
All to get him to admit he was a sociopath.
Okay, I have a question about that. So if you guys listened to the podcast or you saw in the episode of Vanderpump Rules, we come to the conclusion that Jax is pretty much a sociopath. Not by maybe scientific standards, but by the standards of a quiz. So do you actually think he's a sociopath?
I mean, is he watching this right now?
I don't know. Jax, if you're watching this right now.
If Jax is watching this right now, no, I don't think he's a sociopath.
Let's pretend he's not watching it.
I think he might be.
So funny. So obviously, Jax is not the only person on Vanderpump Rules, and you guys are all back together again. The girls are back together again. But people don't tune in to Vanderpump Rules, I think, for the happy-go-lucky portion of it as much as the fun drama of it all. And this season there's kind of a little bit of drama with so far with Scheana and the whole Lala thing. So what is your relationship like with Scheana right now?
Scheana and I have always had our ups and downs. We're two people that like just happen to clash, but that doesn't mean that we don't love and care about each other. Not everyone's going to mix well all the time, and that's what me and Scheana are like.
Right. And you said you're happy that your embarrassing moments are providing entertainment to people. Do you watch the show and have any regrets, or do you kind of just feel like,
are you kidding? I watch all the time and cringe and then go like lock myself in a closet and cry. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Every time I watch it, I'm like, I'm never drinking on camera again. Then the next scene I go and film, I get even more wasted than the previous time before.
So funny. So let's talk a little bit about your podcast.
Okay.
Straight Up with Stassi.
Yes,
It's been happening for a while.
Yeah, 2 years now.
2 years. Okay, let's get a round of applause for that. That's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why podcasts? Why podcasting?
Actually, when I started dating my ex-boyfriend, he's a radio host, and he got me into listening to Howard Stern, and then I became really close friends with another radio host, Taylor Strecker, and I watched them do this, and I watched how it's a completely different outlet, because when you're listening to radio, it's so much more intimate that you feel like you have a best friend. So I became obsessed with listening to different radio hosts and different podcasts, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be able to connect with people in that realm in a way that people feel like you're sitting there listening to your best friend talk.
Right.
It's really special.
Do you feel more connected to people now that you've kind of taken that on?
Yes, 100%, because I have a podcast email, and so my listeners will email me, and I feel like we formed this community where we're all like-minded in a sense that we all have the same sense of humor and value a lot of the same things, and it really is like a community. When somebody comes up to me and says, I'm a Khaleesi, that's what we call, that sounds so weird to say. It sounds like so like narcissistic.
No.
Like, I have a community of people. But it's true. When somebody comes up to me and says that they listen to my podcast, it brings me to tears, because I'm so proud of it. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's such an awesome way. I mean, people are connected. I think a lot of the appeal in a show like Vanderpump Rules, or a lot of the shows on Bravo, is that there is such a big community, and there's a Twitter presence, and there's interaction, and half the fun of watching is kind of following along and live tweeting. So if there's a way to interact with fans in a different way, that's also pretty cool.
And plus, there's a television show. There's so many things that go into it. There are producers, then there are the editors, and then, there's so many different things, and you can only see a fraction of what happens because there's only an hour, every Monday. So when I do my podcast, I do it all myself, and so there's nobody to censor me or edit me or anything like that. Right. What I put out there. If you don't like it, well, then that is because you don't like me. And I'm okay with that.
Right. It kind of like forces you to just have like self-acceptance and move on from it. Something that really surprised me that you actually just told me, for all the things that go into making Vanderpump Rules, getting your hair and makeup done is not one of them. And I just am so impressed by your skills.
Thank
I'm
you.
sitting here like looking at this fabulous makeup, and
thanks. No, yeah,
I'm
I do
jealous.
my own hair and makeup.
Does her own stunts, people. So back to your podcast, you interviewed fellow reality star Olivia Caridi recently.
Yes,
you guys
adore
know
her.
Olivia from Bachelor Nation, and you call her a fellow reality villain. So what was that interview like? What was hanging out with her like?
I really, really like her because I think she's such a. I'm hesitant to use the word feminist because there's so many meanings around definitions of what that is. It means something different to everyone, but she's such a strong, powerful woman who is assertive, not aggressive, assertive, and just wants everyone around her to do well, and she is such an uplifting person. But when you watched The Bachelor, she looked like an asshole.
Right.
And she's not like that at all.
I think that's really difficult because you said, it's an hour of all of this time that you're shooting. You're edited to maybe look a certain way, maybe only say things out of context. And
I feel bad because it's not like everything that you see that came out of my mouth.
Right,
No one's forcing
Well, we
me
know
to
your
say-
one-liners are not cut up and mashed into
Yeah, I
something
just
else.
don't want to make it sound like that's not who I am at all. Like, nope, that is exactly who I am. What you see on Vanderpump, it pretty much is. You're just seeing one side of that.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting because you said that, like male reality villains, like a Jax or like a Chad on The Bachelor, like
They're adored.
they're adored. So why do you think women are so...
I have been trying to figure this out because it's like you could be the worst person alive, but if you're a dude on reality TV being the worst person alive, then their Instagram inbox is filled with nothing but women sending them photos of their tits. But if a girl is a villain, then we're just destroyed on social media.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's just kind of disappointing, I guess.
It is disappointing.
Yeah.
Where are all those dick pics?
I don't know
Why
that
are
that's
they
an
in my
invitation.
inbox?
Speaking of dick pics, what?
No, I'm kidding. Nobody
No,
wants
no
to
dick
see a dick
pics.
pic. Like,
Nobody.
Literally nobody wants to see that.
Literally nobody. I won't even. I will spare you the details, but I have had my own experience.
Please don't spare me the details. I'd like to hear
I'll tell you
Later.
after the show. Would you ever go on The Bachelor?
I'm way too insecure and jealous. There's no way that I could try and date a dude who was dating a bunch of women. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
that's a mind.
I'm not
that's
strong
like
enough for that.
Screws with your mind, I think, a lot. Speaking of dating, the last episode, the new episode is on tonight, but the last episode, we're celebrating your birthday, which I know you love to do in Montauk.
Yes, I do love my birthday.
And you had kind of some suitors approaching you guys at the bar, maybe not ones that you were very interested in, but suitors nonetheless. What are you dating right now? What's your status?
Well, I'm single, but I was right when me and Patrick broke up. I was dating, and then I got really exhausted of it. So I haven't been on a date in like 3 months now.
It's
I would just
exhausting.
rather be at home with my dogs than sit around on a first date pretending to care that you played football in high school. I really don't care.
Yeah, so I think like the small talk of it doesn't seem like it would
Small
bode
talk
well
is
with
the
you.
worst.
Yeah. Absolutely. Speaking of birthdays, what has been your favorite birthday, either on the show or off the show?
That is an excellent question.
So go way back. Tell me about your 5th birthday party.
my fifth birthday party. Wow.
Maybe let's cut it down to on the show.
You know what? I would say Cabo. That was fun.
Yeah.
We were all wrecks.
It looked like it was a ton of
But
fun.
it was fun.
So you talk about how you guys like to party and you like to go out, and it seems like perhaps the most sane person to appear on Vanderpump Rules is your little brother.
Shout out to Nikolai.
Yeah, can we give Nikolai a round of applause for being like having like all the words of wisdom?
Where he came from, I'm pretty sure like he's not my mom's son, because me and my mom are just like, how did this happen? How is my little brother so wise and cool? And he needs to run for president in 2024.
Okay.
Or 2000. Well, let's give him 8. Right?
How old is he? 11?
Yeah, but I'm hoping that they'll lower the age.
Okay, so he can be
So that
like a teen president.
yeah, like not the next election, but the one after that.
All
I
right,
feel like
you
he'll
guys
be
heard it
ready.
here first. We're gonna start campaigning for Nikolai for president and somewhere in the not so far off future.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten from him?
To stop inserting myself into everybody else's drama. That pretty much.
Okay,
that-
but it is entertaining. I mean, there's a reason why there's a reason why everyone's not just leaving Lala alone.
Yes, there are many reasons why people aren't just leaving Lala alone. Yes.
Let's talk about Lala for a second.
Oh, my favorite topic.
I know your best pal Lala.
Besties.
Do you think anyone's ever going to find out who her boyfriend is?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't think that it was going to be so definite.
Yeah.
Do you know who her boyfriend is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I drunkenly tweeted it last night.
Oh. All right. Well, everybody get out your phones if you don't yet know who Lala's boyfriend is. Why, things with Lala were always a little bit shaky, and then they've kind of gotten progressively worse over the course of the season, and now there's this drama with Scheana kind of befriending her. Why is it so important to you to kind of take a stand so fiercely against somebody who's not being kind to your friends?
I just feel like I've always been that way, and a lot of people don't like that, but my friends that are my closest friends, I am so ride or die. And if I watch them suffer at the hands of somebody else, then I'm going to do everything that I can to take that person down.
Yeah.
And that might not be a great quality that I have, but that is who I am. And in between seasons, in between filming, Lala was saying the worst, most vile things about Katie, and I could not stand it. And we all bleed out for our show. We expose our lives. We expose everything. And after Lala saying all of this about Katie, I'm like, you're not allowed to keep your relationship and your life a secret while we're all giving it our all,
Right.
on top of the fact that you bully my friend so much.
Right.
So no, I'll do everything to make you quit.
Right. It's the kind of thing where you can't pick and choose when you're going to lay it all out there. If the point of this show is to put it out
we're
there.
all putting our all into it, then sorry.
Yeah.
Don't go on a reality show if you're dating a married man. Don't want to talk about it.
Right. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to tune in to see more of that. One burning question that I have for you, it's a really juicy, hot topic, is please tell me what about those goat cheese balls at Sir are so good.
God, I love goat cheese. It's like a thing. I like even Postmates it because I don't feel like
I read that you were going to tweet, you were going to order them in one night.
I've done that multiple times. Who doesn't like goat cheese, first of all? And then who doesn't like fried food? So goat cheese that's fried, oh my God.
It's like a match
It's
made
the
in heaven.
best. It's so good.
I had like multiple people when I told them I was interviewing you. They were like, please ask her about the goat cheese balls.
Everyone needs to go to Sir and try the freaking goat cheese balls. They're so good.
I think I know the answer to this question, but do you think that there's anything now at this point that people don't know about you that watch the show?
I mean, I think well, no. I mean that makes me super basic then. If like there's nothing people don't know
I
about
think it
me.
makes you super fit for this job.
Yeah,
if
we
you're
kinda just
putting it
live
all
in-
out there.
Yeah, I really don't feel like. I'm pretty sure you know everything. Jurassic Park's one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
Maybe
there we go.
I don't know. Like,
There you go,
that's-
guys. Awesome. Well, I think we're going to take a few questions from the audience now.
Hi there.
Hello.
Maybe the accent reminds you of somebody. Lisa, my friends in New York think it's quite a Lisa accent. I just was curious, do you feel like because of the accent and it makes things sound more serious that she gets to really put her point across and try and rule you and, you know, it sounds more serious and more imposing?
Everyone loves an English accent. I'm jealous that I don't have one because I feel like people would take me way more seriously. But yes, I agree with you.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I'm over here. I also love goat cheese. It's like my favorite thing. And
Thank
now I
you.
want to try these so bad.
What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. I got you, girl.
Oh my God. I was wondering, do you learn things about yourself from watching the show back?
A little bit. I learned that whenever I watch it, I do notice that when I think I'm just being assertive or standing up for something, I'm maybe seem way more condescending that I mean to sound. And that bothers me, but I also don't know how to change that about myself.
Well, acknowledging it is the first step, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I think we have one more question.
Hi. You mentioned before that feminism means a lot means different things to different people. I was wondering, what does it mean to you?
To me, feminist, and I would like to consider myself a feminist, but I think that that's a woman that is just being who she is. And not following any rules of what somebody thinks a feminist should be. If you are just so authentically being yourself and making the decisions that you would want to make without worrying about what other people are going to think about you, that to me is what a feminist is, and that's what I strive to be every day.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Stassi, for being here.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this for so long. So
I know we had some fun photos backstage, but do you want to tell everybody where they can listen to your podcast?
Yes, absolutely. It's free to download on Spotify or on the podcast app or iTunes. It's called Straight Up with Stassi. If you like pretending like your best friend is just like drinking wine, getting hammered, talking about shit that like you only talk about in private, then listen to it.
Yeah, I feel like we should have had some glasses of wine up here, but next time.
Damn it.
Next time. And then Vanderpump Rules.
Wasted opportunity.
I know, literally. Monday nights at 9 p.m.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for everybody.
Thank